Hello, this is Francis from McCaffrey's Crafts, and today I'm continuing on with my series, Blackthorn and Irish Faction Fighting, a history of stick fighting. And today I thought we would just kind of look again at maybe some of the motives or backgrounds of why people would have got involved in faction fighting. Just want to go into a bit more detail on that as well, and just kind of give people an impression and understanding of what life was like at the time. Back in the 1600s, 1700s, and just before the faction fighting kicked off in 1805 officially, life was bad for Irish people. It wasn't good at all. You had that major a-hole Cromwell, who came to Ireland and was, a complete, a-hole. That's the only way I can describe him. You had various wars. You had the society suppressed by the English, a society whose land was stolen off them. Violence was common enough as well. So again, Irish people weren't in a good place as collective consciousness and the mentality of Irish people, and not to mention as well the penal laws. I just kind of explain what the penal laws were for anyone watching. In a broad outline, basically the penal laws, they barred Catholics from the army, from the navy, from being involved in law, and for being involved in business. Basically from every civic activity. They barred Catholics from purchasing land, owning land. Catholics were not to attend school, keep schools, or send their children to be educated abroad. The practice of the Catholic religion was forbidden. Now, remember, Ireland was 99% Catholic at the time, so these were very, very repressive laws. So, there's theories out there, and it's worth putting out there as well, is that under these conditions, suspicion from the law, everyone, their blood was boiling, they were suppressed. Here you have power dominating the masses, society, and again, as we've seen throughout history and even in recent times, when people are suppressed enough, they will react in various different ways. And so under these conditions, it kind of worth talking about as well. To see that they had quite a term that passed, and it's not surprising altogether that these kind of frustrated people turned to faction fighting, not only as a test of their clan or sept strength, or the settlement of family feuds, but also maybe as just an escape of the kind of trials and tribulations of their kind of inferior status, and maybe as an act of defiance again against the authorities, which they truly despise, because when they did the faction fighting, the authorities cleared out, the police left the town. It gave the Irish a sense of some pride again, which they had been repressed. So yeah, I think that's kind of bears relevance to just discussing in this video, and just throwing that out there as well, that society at the time wanted to kind of give the middle finger to the authorities, and what better way than to track faction fighting. Again, look, it's just a theory to throw out there based on what information we have, such as the penal laws and Cromwell and all of this. But it's worth understanding, how society was at the time, and all of this was a perfect storm and a recipe to create the faction fighting. And history repeats itself. When people are repressed, or when something bad happens, or there's an injustice carried out against someone by an authority, the people, they react in different ways. Look what's happening in modern times about how people have reacted to various incidents by authority figures. So I thought, given what's happening in the news at the moment, that there's some commonality there to faction fighting. And actually, in tomorrow's video, I'm going to discuss about how a murder spawned the feud between the Caravats and the Shanavests. That's actually quite interesting, and again, some parallels to modern times as well. But I'll go into that in the next video. Okay, thank you for watching.